Hello everyone and welcome to Send You a Message, the weekly show where we answer your questions about Xbox 360. I'm Andy Farrant and I'm joined by Jane Douglas, who we're sad to announce is leaving MSN Tech and Gadgets.
Yes, as of the 3rd of May, I'll be over at GameSpot UK.
We'll miss you, Jane. Let's take a look at some of your best bits.
Those were all clips from the movie Predator.
Yeah, but it was pretty cool though, wasn't it?
Yeah, I guess. Anyway, I'm not going anywhere. I'm still going to be hosting Sent You a Message when I'm at GameSpot.
What, so nothing's going to change?
No.
Oh, cool. Will you still be using your optical camouflage to hunt the deadliest prey of all, man?
No, that's Predator again.
Right. All right, let's answer some questions then.
Let's.
Lyndon Milam isn't just a gamer, but he's also produced offspring that he hopes will follow in his gaming footsteps. Naturally, he's concerned about the classification system for games and asks why some feature Pan-European Game Information, or PEGI ratings, and others feature ratings from the British Board of Film Classification.
It is a good question, but no longer relevant for reasons we'll explain in a moment. When publishers submit their games for age classification, they must complete an online form detailing the nature of the game's content.
Until recently, if certain boxes were checked pertaining to adult content, that's graphic violence, bad language, drug use and the like, rather than lengthy chats about mortgage repayments and dinner party arrangements, the game would then be passed on to the Video Standards Council, who would submit it for BBFC review. Those games would then receive a BBFC certificate, which meant that the retailers who sold the game to underage consumers could be fined or prosecuted.
However, following the highly publicised Byron Report, an investigation into the effects of video games on Britain's youth, published in 2008 by Dr. Tanya Byron, UK's Department of Culture, Media and Sport ruled that the PEGI system, with the support of the Video Standards Council, would be the sole means of rating video games.
While this decision was reached last June, it only came into power with the passing of the hugely controversial Digital Economy Bill on the 8th of April.
In short, BBFC ratings on games are no more, which should make games purchasing a far less confusing affair for responsible parents like Lyndon.
Wow, that was all incredibly serious.
Don't worry, the next question is about the Hulk punching Chris Redfield.
Phew! WD21 reckons that he's heard there'll be a Marvel vs. Capcom 3 and wonders if we have any details to share. Well, you heard right. At its annual Captivate event in Hawaii, which unbelievably we weren't invited to, Capcom announced Marvel vs. Capcom 3 Fate of Two Worlds and confirmed it for a spring 2011 release on Xbox 360.
The announcement is actually the reason Dan isn't presenting tonight's show, as the news was so exciting that it caused his skeleton to leap out of his skin. Doctors are now chasing the excitable bones in a bid to return them to their fleshy confines in time for next week's episode.
Ew. While Capcom has confirmed that the game will feature in excess of 30 characters, the first trailer, which contains no actual gameplay footage, only reveals 6. On Capcom's side, you have Street Fighter's Ryu, Darkstalker's Morrigan, and Resident Evil's Chris Redfield, while Marvel is represented by Wolverine, Iron Man, and the Hulk.
However, the Marvel and Capcom logos at the start of the trailer also feature some incredibly recognisable silhouettes, which has led to speculation that you'll also see the likes of Captain America, Doctor Doom, Super Skrull, Deadpool, Chun-Li, Devil May Cry's Dante and Dead Rising's Frank West joining the fray.
Capcom has revealed that the fights will once again take the form of 3-on-3 bouts, that the graphics engine will be an advanced version of that used for Resident Evil 5 and Lost Planet 2, and that it will feature a much deeper storyline compared to the previous Marvel vs. Capcom games.
It sounds positively amazing, and the internet is already rife with speculation as to who the other characters will be. I'm hoping the Punisher will be one of them, and who do you want in it, Andy?
Stan Lee.
Okay, so like a super-powered Stan Lee who can, I don't know, erase his own creations.
No, just regular 87-year-old Stan Lee.
Rob Dyrdek fan 77 may not be able to spell his idol's surname correctly, but that's probably because he's too busy wondering about the recently announced Deadliest Warrior game for Xbox Live Arcade.
Ever imagine what would happen if a medieval knight fought a pirate, or a ninja took on an Apache, or Gandhi fought a bear? Then you're 2/3 of the way to imagining Deadliest Warrior, a hit US show that pits the greatest fighters in history against each other in hypothetical battles. Sadly, the Gandhi bout must remain in our minds until we finally get our rival show, World's Greatest Pacifists versus World's Angriest Animals, off the ground.
But who cares about hypothetical fights? Would you rather watch poorly acted, dramatic recreations of these fantasy bouts while a bunch of so-called experts postulate over the damage a flail would do to a skull, or would you prefer doing it yourself? Exactly. And with Deadliest Warrior, the game, coming to Xbox Live Arcade later this year, you'll be able to do exactly that. And with plenty more blood and guts than they'd allow on TV as well.
You'll have 8 of history's most proficient killing machines to choose from, including a ninja, knight, Spartan and Apache, all of whom can wield a combination of short, mid and long-range weaponry. Unlike the likes of Soul Calibur, where a knife through the neck is about as deadly as a kick to the shins, Deadliest Warrior's bouts will be quick, realistic affairs where limbs can be broken and matches can end with a single, carefully placed shot or blow to the barnet. Anyone who remembers Square Enix's classic Bushido Blade games will be right at home here.
The entire lineup of characters has yet to be revealed, but if they're plucking from the show, I'd hope the classic IRA versus Taliban bout makes a return. What about you, Andy? Let me guess. Stan Lee.
Yeah. How did he guess?